svima. Evo mi u Limi.
Guys, the place that we're gonna visit today, my friend Mabel told you, or not really?
Yeah, two squares anyway.
Yes,
Yeah.
We're gonna visit this first square, then I'm gonna take you walking by a very nice street that is Girón de la Unión. It's just for pedestrians, full of mansions. Then we're gonna visit the monastery of San Francisco of Assisi, and we're gonna go underground to the famous catacombs of Lima. More than 95,000 bodies were buried there in the colonial days. And also, guys, we're gonna walk around our main square, Plaza Mayor, and we're gonna be able to see the presidential palace, you know, the cathedral, and the Archbishop Palace by outside, of course, because we are not allowed to go inside. So to have a better look, let's go into the middle of the square to see everything, all right? We are in Plaza San Martin. Do you have any idea who was San Martin?
General, the general. I read that already.
Is the person who's there, you know, with the horse. He's the General San Martin. He's very important for us because he proclaimed independence in my country back in 1821. So that's why this year, back on July, we celebrate 200 years of independence from Spain. So that's why all of these buildings look so good, because they just got restored.
Sure.
And also back on July, we celebrate 200 years. Sorry, we choose and we change presidents. Nowadays we have a new president that is going to be here for 5 years. So this plaza was made in 1821, commemorating 100 years of independence. Now, this plaza is not just important because of history, but as you can see, it's also an speaker corner. So all the ideas that you have, you can share it here.
Really?
See?
Wow, that's good.
Yes.
I like it.
You don't need a permission. You just come with your microphone, with your speaker, and you share your ideas.
It's like Hyde Park in London, right? I think that's the same idea.
It's from ancient Greek, actually, when they, in Greek, ancient Greek.
Oh, in ancient Greek, they would do that. That's right.
Yeah, they had that tradition,
Aeropago. Yes, Aeropago is in Spanish, that's the name.
Wow.
So, sometimes you can find people here speaking about religion, sometimes about politics, and sometimes even about UFOs, alright? So everybody's welcome to share ideas
But
here.
you don't have to announce that in advance, no?
No,
No, just come here and speak
you
your
can-
phone.
Yes, and you can even come with some papers and you can give it, or you can put in the floor and you share ideas.
Wow, I like it.
And also it's working as the place where you can do demonstration. This is our meeting point, and from here we started demonstrations. As you can see, no demonstrations now. You know, usually demonstrations start from 5 p.m. and more. And the speaker corner is also used from 5 p.m. and more because that's the time that people stop work.
You're well organized. You're well organized country,
Yes, I
yeah.
would say, yes. And always you can see many police around here because the president is working around, the parliament is also working around, so that's why you will always find police. In the left side, you have the twin buildings because they look pretty much the same. You can see a shield. That is the shield of Lima, of the city. And on the other side is the shield of Peru.
Yeah.
And also, my friends, in the other side where I met you, that is the Bolivar Hotel. The first 5-star hotel that we ever had here.
Oh, really?
Yes, 1920s, and many famous people stayed there, like Walt Disney and even Mick Jagger from the Rolling Stones.
Wow!
Yes. So all of this area used to be the richest area of Peru.
Okay.
Not anymore. Nowadays is a local area, you know, historical for us. Remember that all of this is protected by the UNESCO from 1989. All of these buildings were made in 1920s. They are not very old. Later on we're gonna see the oldest one. And for that, my friends, I wanna join me walking into Jirón de la Unión. That is the most commercial street in my country. It's just for pedestrians, and the stores are inside all mansions because the rich people do not live here anymore. This was rich until the 80s or the 70s. Not many people by now because it's Tuesday. But if you would come here on Sunday afternoon, this is super crowded. You know, families would like to come outside here. We are in Jirón de la Unión. Jirón is a local name to call a street. So in fact, this will be the Union Street because connect Plaza San Martin with the main square of Lima. This was the place that in the past all the prime ministers used to come when they wanted to meet the president in the palace, you know.
Okay.
And this is the most commercial street, as I was telling you. Here you're gonna find everything: shoes, pizza, you can exchange your dollars, you're gonna find casinos, pharmacies, and even tattoo places, Chinese restaurants, theaters, everything in one street. That's why always is so crowded as this. But this is not the most crowded that you can see, you know, that happen on weekends. So all around here, we're gonna walk and we're gonna make some stops in some very interesting places.
Let's go, Starsgrad. How old is that? Do you know?
This
Maybe?
is, yes, from 1914.
1914, yeah.
By that time, used to be a firefighter's station. When it got burned, used to be a place for you to have tattoos and a shoe store. Shortcut, and everything got burned. Vendo al kilo for renting or for selling. If you buy or if you rent, you have to pay anyways the money for the restoration. And that is too expensive. And the families that own all of these buildings, they do not have enough money to restore it.
And people live here still?
No, not really, but private families own the place. So no money to restoration, and nobody want to buy it because the price is expensive and it's even more expensive to restore it. So sadly, the government do not invest money in this because it's private. Yes.
What a bad story.
So Lima also was known as the city of the balconies. Because as you can see here, you can find what we call Juliet balconies, the small ones. These are from 1920s. Later on, we're gonna see the big balconies that are the balconies from the colonial days, made out with cedar wood from Central America. In the next vlog, we're gonna see that the house there is a very nice example about how this downtown Lima has changed with the pass of the time. It used to be an old mansion. You can see the fresco on the top of the wall. You know, the painting
really?
on the top. Because that used to be the living room. But more interesting than that is what you can see here. Come close. Can you see the numbers in both sides?
Yeah.
Those sides.
Wow, what a beautiful doors.
Original knockers from the 18th century.
18th century?
Yes, 1700s. Do you have any idea why the knockers were put so high there?
Because of riders.
That's right.
Which one?
Riders.
Right,
Horses.
the horses.
Yeah.
Yes. And you can see that always have kind of like lion faces, and kind of like angry faces on the bottom. That was to avoid bad energies or bad spirits. That was the idea of the times.
But they are the same, yeah? All four are the same.
Yes.
Okay.
We are the original ones, the four.
Okay.
And the original balconies, my friends, those are made with cedar wood brought from Central America, Panama and Costa Rica. The cedar wood, you know, the insects do not go in. That's why it's so good. Now, this house and the one in the front, they are protected by the UNESCO. How can you recognize that? Can you see the door in the middle, the beautiful door in the middle? Next to the door in the right, there's a shield, black and white. Did you see it, Dana? Yes, that's the shield of the UNESCO.
Really?
Yes, the UNESCO put that, and the law says that if the UNESCO put that, in case of war, the soldiers cannot destroy these houses. As I was telling the other couple, this used to be called the Concert Palace. It was a very nice building from 1914. It was made to be a coffee place, a theater, a concert palace, So the most important riders back in the 40s used to go there to have kind of like intellectual meetings or something like that. But then in the 80s, because of the economical crisis that we had in Peru, a lot of inflation, the place closed. In the 90s, reopened being a dance club. Closed again and reopened being a Chilean department store, actually called Replay. But if you see inside, the pillars and the ceiling is still the same. They cannot change that. They can just move the things. And as in many of the stores around here, the second and third floor are just storages. They don't really work, you know? Almost all the stores here work like that. The Concert Palace is one of the most representative buildings that we have in this street. That's an Art Nouveau style, beautiful Art Nouveau.
So it's good acoustic inside, yeah? It's good acoustic inside, probably.
Yes.
And I like those windows. Look at that. They're in 4 pieces.
Lima is still Catholics.
70%.
Yes.
Okay.
We always say more for tradition than for conviction. Alright? But anyways, Catholics. So that's why in the historical center of Lima we have 7 important Catholic churches. So in the next vlog I will show you the one who has the most beautiful facade. A Baroque church from 1655, 17th century,
Wow.
with a lot of details.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
one question.
Please.
Why is, when you mention facades, why is so many houses, almost 90, I don't know, 5% of houses they don't have a facade? Is it so much expensive or?
Not really. The thing is that when you don't finish your house, you pay less taxes than when you finish your
I
house.
guess it, but I wanted to hear confirmation. And same like in Asia. In Asia is the same, yeah. Because sometimes they just have front facing to the street and then back nothing, or even
In Cusco, we saw all the reinforcing bar
yeah,
above the
yeah.
second floor.
Yeah.
So maybe that's part
Yeah, I guess it's about paying taxes or something.
Yes. So for example, in my house, we finished 3 floors and the last floor is not finished.
So you don't have to pay anything.
Yes. Almost all the houses are painted in the same color. Kind of like pink, yellow, light blue, cream. That is because those are the only colors allowed by the UNESCO.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's why all the signs
Like
are in
natural
black
colors, yeah, natural.
Original colors.
Or, yeah, natural.
Alterated harmony of these colors. Some hotels also around here.
Wow, beautiful. They're beautiful. I love it.
Yes. And all the singers that you're gonna find here, like the couple that is getting ready to sing there, they are blind. They belong to a blind community, and they are the only ones allowed to work like that. When people pass, give them some coins, so that is the way that they can make some money. Remember that this is a very crowded area always, so they can make good money.
Oh, really?
Walking and working.
What does it
like
mean,
that.
good money in Lima?
I mean, could be like, for them, could be like 70 soles per day, 80 soles.
But what is, when we're talking about money, what is like average salary in Lima?
I would say it's about 1,200 soles.
Okay.
That would be in dollars like $400.
Yeah, but it's
alright?
not enough to live in
No,
Lima.
it's not enough.
Yeah.
And our minimum salary is like $267.
Oh my God.
It's very low. per
Very
month.
low.
Very low. And now that the dollar is like, you know,
Yeah,
very high, the
yeah.
exchange rate, even, you know, it's lower the minimum salary.
Yeah, that's not enough. Maybe in countryside, in some place. Wow, what a
But not here.
beautiful.
I want you to see this.
Wow.
Let's go to the left side.
Yeah.
Vamos a la izquierda para que lo veamos mejor, amigos, por favor.
Kakva zgrada, ovo je crkva. Wow.
Ah,
It's Baroque, no? No, it's
It's
not
Baroque,
Yeah,
yes.
it is, yeah.
to be more exact, is the Salomon Baroque style.
Okay.
You know, because of the pillars with grapes that is like that. So, this is Our Lady of the Mercy Monastery, you know, 1655, has the shield of the UNESCO, it's an historical area for us, and you can see on the top the Lady of the Mercy. She's the Virgin Maria, you know, but it depends about the part of Peru that you're gonna be. She received different names. So in this case, the Lady of the Mercy. This is the only church that is closed. The other ones are open, and they have regular masses at 10 and at 4 p.m. But in this case, they decide to be closed because, you know, they do not have enough ventilation. So people can make the mass. I mean, the father can make the mass, and people can join here to pray.
Yes.
But-
They use speakerphones, yeah? Using speakerphones, yeah?
Yes. But also, guys, the church is incomplete. You can see a bell tower in the left, but there's no bell tower in the right.
See. Yeah.
What do you think could happen?
It's fall down. Fall down.
Hold on. Remember that we live in a seismic area. We have big earthquakes every 30 years. So the last one was on 2007. So we are fine now, alright? No worries about earthquakes. But in 1748, we had the biggest earthquake of all. 8.5 raised in the
my
Richter
God.
scale. Just 200 people survived. And 30 minutes after that, we had a tsunami. Alright? That's the biggest earthquake, you know, in Peruvian history. So that's why part of the church collapsed inside, and also the tower in the right collapsed. So finally, they didn't have enough money to restore it. So it's incomplete. But it's one of the most beautiful facades, and my favorite personally, for you to see.
Yeah, it is.
You know, used to be a band. Nowadays it's a Peruvian department store, but more important than that is the sculpture that we have there. You know, Ramon Castilla is the president who abolished slavery in my country in 1853. You know, African slaves brought by the Spaniards here in the colonial times. We put his sculpture there because that was a market for buying or selling slaves.
Okay, but what he hold in his right hand?
Yes.
Those two things. What's that?
I'm not really sure, but he was a general and also he was a president. So maybe it's some kind of the, I don't know how to say it.
Something, yeah.
Some kind
Honor
of,
his, yeah.
so he's considered the best president that we ever had.
Oh, really?
And I love this corner because you can find a building from the 40s, a church from the 17th century, a balcony from the 18th century, and a very fancy
Yeah.
McDonald's and Art Deco from the
Yeah, at the
1920s.
core, yeah. This
So
is
different years, different ages, different centuries in just one block.
Palat
Plaza Mayor.
Plaza
We
Mayor.
call it like that to the main square. That's a place where we're gonna find the cathedral, the city hall, and the presidential palace, where the president is working, you know, and also he's living there, you know. For us to vote is mandatory. If you don't vote, you receive a ticket of $20. So everybody must vote since we are 18 years old. If you don't pay that, and then let's say that you wanna do some transaction in the bank, they don't allow you because they have your name.
That's good. It's really good. And how many percent of people vote last election? I was here in August, something
yes.
like that.
I would say 98% of the
Wow,
people. Yes.
that's huge.
Yeah, the people who don't vote, they have enough money to pay that, you know. So they say,
That's
I don't
good.
want to vote, or
That's
I don't want
good.
to wake up or something like that. As you can read on the top says Fotografía Central, and below that says Curret. Curret used to be the family, the French family who used to live here. They brought a new technology here in 1865 that was develop the photos, you know. That was new for us in 1865. But also they brought a trend into my country that was take the post-mortem photos. Have you heard about that? Post-mortem photos, what about you guys? Post-mortem photos?
Photos of dead bodies.
Yes. Dead bodies, like, I mean, if I have a son, maybe my son dies, and after hours I have to take a photo, for it looks as if he were alive. That was the idea. So this family brought this kind of concept of taking photos here, that of course we don't have it now, but this house is historical because, you know, this family used to take photos, you know, to all the presidents, important families, and it's a monument for us. The family is not living there anymore. They came back to France, but as you can see, it's protected by the UNESCO. Got restored just back on July, and nowadays You can buy cases for your cell phone and some clothes for a baby. This is our beautiful Plaza de Armas, Plaza Mayor, main square.
Plaze del Armas.
This is the place where the most important powers used to combine, you know? You have the Peruvian White House, Palacio de Gobierno, Presidential Palace, where the president is working and living now. In the front, that's why you can see the big flag. In the right side, you have the Cathedral of Lima, the most important church that we have. Next to the cathedral, where you can see the two beautiful balconies, that is the Archbishop Palace, kind of like the office of the main head of Catholic religion. Nowadays, those are museums, eh? And in the left side, where you can see the flag, the yellow flag, that is the City Hall of Lima.
Wow.
Where the main mayor of the whole city is working. So as you can see, the main powers are here in this plaza. That's why it was closed until last Sunday. At the beginning, this plaza, it was a bull ring.
Oh.
Yeah, so people used to watch the bullfighting from their balconies. Yes. After that, this used to be the place of execution of the Inquisition.
Oh.
So a lot of hangings, burnings.
Burnings, and they watch it, of course.
Yes.
Sure.
Look how many vultures there flying around.
Yeah.
And after that, used to be a local market. And then it's a plaza like this. But always has been the most important place in my city. Now, besides the buildings that I showed you before, the rest are private. And all of them, or mostly, are painted in yellow because that is the color of a flower that just grows in Peruvian lands called amancais.
Okay.
So this is always going to be painted in yellow. Now, if you see the cathedral is not at the level of the floor, it's a little bit to the top because it was built into an old Inca temple. It was a temple dedicated to the Puma Inti.
Oh.
Remember that the puma was a worship animal, and Inti means sun.
Sun, yeah.
So that's why it was made there in order to, you know, abolish the religion, the Inca religion that we used to have
And
here.
they always did it
Now,
everywhere.
the church, the palace, the Archbishop Palace, they are working as museums. They
Church
just-
is also like
a museum.
Okay.
It's working just as a real church on Sundays. Nobody is allowed to marry inside the cathedral. People can marry inside the chapel of the cathedral that is next to it. And Francisco Pizarro, that is the Spanish conquistador, he made the ceremonial foundation of Lima, where you can see now the fountain of Lima, you know? And if you want to really see the body of Pizarro, it's buried in the cathedral.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I was wondering. I was asking someone in Cusco, where's Pizarro's body, and they didn't know. So it's
It's in the cathedral is his tomb, actually, and the cathedral also has some crypts, you know, cemetery underground. But the one that we're gonna visit is the San Francisco of Assisi Monastery, that not just have crypts but tunnels underground.
Wow.
So that's why nowadays we know that the tunnels in San Francisco of Assisi Monastery, that is located where you can see the two towers, you know, in the back, connects directly with the presidential palace in the left. That used to be the house of Pizarro. What happened if he wanted to run away with all the gold? He could run away around those
With all the gold, no way to bring all the gold.
Yes.
I think they did it all time. They just sent the gold to Spain.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, on ships.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I want to take photo in front of that sign.
All right.
Lima.
Sure. So, you want to have your photo there?
Sure. Ovo je znači predsjednička palata, on tu živi. Pošto je nije iz Lime, pa tu ima sad rezidenciju. Eto, ne može da se priđe. Ovo je biskupska palata ovdje.
And when we have Easter or Holy Week, the Archbishop comes and gives a speech from that little balcony.
Casa della Literatura Peruana, what does it mean? Library? No?
Library, muy bien.
Okay.
The Peruvian
National-
Literature House.
The Peruvian?
Peruvian Literature House.
Aha, national, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
So it used to be our old train station, actually.
It
Yeah,
looks
that's what I
like,
thought it was.
yeah,
It
it
looks like a
looks
train
like,
station.
absolutely, yeah.
It's in the
Yeah,
Plaza.
exactly. Yeah.
And the
From the
clock
20s.
tower.
Uh-huh.
Beautiful.
Nowadays in Peru, we don't really take trains anymore. You know, we only use buses and
Yeah,
planes.
that's what's weird is around Cusco. Like, for instance, Cusco to Sacred Valley, it would be much cleaner just to have a rail line because everyone wants to go to the Sacred Valley, you know?
Yeah.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
But I saw some trains, but they're just for cargo. They are not
Yes,
travel.
exactly. We're still using trains, but just for cargo. So this train station used to work as a train station, but just once a month. People would take the train for here to go until Huancayo
Ah,
in the central Andes of
yeah,
Peru.
that's beautiful. Yeah, I've been there.
8
Yeah.
hours. Beautiful,
Huancayo,
right?
yeah.
But now that touristic train and the library are closed because of COVID. You can see that even though this is a very touristic place, we need to improve a lot. The new president just put a minister for being the prime minister of tourism in Peru, and guess what? He is a psychologist that never had worked in tourism. So,
We'll see.
yes,
At least he has diploma. In my country, it's happened even worse. That people, yeah, because one party has like autocratic system. So
no, here's the club. Yes. So there you have San Francisco Monastery, the most beautiful monastery you will find in my city. It's very big. It goes until the other block. It's one of the oldest ones, 1565.
Wow.
Right,
Wow.
16th century. And if we open a hole here, pretty sure we will find tunnels.
голуби. А, малой застрашуйтесь. Вау! Вау! Ого, невjerojatno. Gledaj klince koji...
Been taught in more than 50 or 100 years maybe. The ones on the first floor are the oldest one, and the ones on the second floor, they are old but not that old.
Podrum. Basement.
Yes, for the bodies.
For the bodies.
Yes.
One-way ticket.
Border in the left side, we used to cultivate some products like olives. I also have seen papayas, even bananas, but not anymore. Nowadays it's just part of the decoration of the church. Before the COVID, we could walk around the second floor, but now it is too narrow, they don't allow. And let me show you something here. What is that, guys? ¿Qué es eso, amigos?
What he's doing here. Someone forgot him.
Oh, is that a skull?
It's an skull, un cráneo.
Real one.
That's a real one.
Okay.
More than 95,000 bodies were buried here.
And the two bones too?
See? The two femurs are original. I mean, they are real, not original. They are real. So these were the places where they used to take the dead bodies. No? And some coins too.
Yeah.
Because this has become in the well of the wishes for good luck. Si quieren tener buenos deseos,
For
pueden
whom? For
tirar.
him or for
I
us?
don't know.
I mean, it's too late for him. Idemo u katakombe.
Let's go to the cemetery. Let's say the chapel is empty. So we can go.
Bus. Watch
We're gonna go underground. Watch your head.
your
watch
head.
step.
Why so low here? It's always...
Peruvians, we are short.
You are Peruvian.
I eat everything that my mom told me. Watch your head, please.
I think go ahead. Huh? Huh? See? Ovo je zaista nisko. It's really, really low. Wow. Video snow photos.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, sure. It's claustrophobic a bit.
Yeah, and the master too.
Yeah. Looks like ritual.
Huh?
Looks like ritual. Ritual.
Looks like ritual, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So my friends, all the bones that we're gonna see here, they are real. Todos los huesos son reales, eh? But they were not buried like that. They were put like that by the specialists for us to see it, of course. Now, most of the bones that we're gonna find here are femurs. Son los huesos que vamos a encontrar. Femures. This part of the arm, skulls, hips, and tailbones. Because they are the strongest bones that we have. They used to work as a real cemetery, and by that time, you were only allowed to walk by the place that you were staying. This was open for more bodies, because if I make like this, it's empty, because there used to be areas for more bodies. No? Nowadays, it's not working as a real cemetery anymore, but the principal priest of this church, they can still be buried here in areas like the one that you can see there.
Oh my God.
The people who, correct.
But why they put it in one place? Like, yeah.
Because people used to steal bones there.
Use it.
Steal the bones.
Ah, still.
Yes, that's why we put the glasses.
No. But why they put it together like this?
Oh,
just for display?
yeah, just for display.
For explain. And they're real. They're real.
They are real.
But why someone pay and then?
Oh no, this stopped working as a real cemetery
Okay.
in 1851. So
1851. Okay.
in 1945, a group of archaeologists came down here, opened everything. They put all the bones like that, and then this was a museum.
Krali su, znači, pa su zato stavili ovo, kaže, donesi mi 3 koske butne. O, sve. Katastrofa.
Put it in a bag and throw it into common holes or common pits. So they
Every,
have,
every
3 or 5
years.
So they have more space for more bodies.
So they can make more money.
Factory.
That's good business. That is the best business.
That's right. People have to die.
Ah.
Yeah.
In the next room, we're gonna see the common pit. Let's go around here, please.
But there is no glass here. They still can take it.
Yes, but I mean, it's too low, I guess. Watch your step
Yeah.
and watch your head twice, right?
Oh,
Twice.
yeah.
You know,
Twice.
those step.
I see.
Right?
Oh, that's huge one.
One more, please. Watch your head one more time. More step.
It's like scenography for a movie.
This is the common pit.
Oh, wow.
Every 3 or 5 years, they throw the bones in and clean up.
So this used to be almost full of bones.
But, sorry, how deep is this?
See?
How deep
No,
was
that is
that?
the deepest.
Deep,
That's- It's not that deep. And there used to be open areas also on the ceiling because the oxygen need to pass around here because there used to be torches, you know, with oxygen. And if we open a hole now, we would be able to see the church. We're going to be exploring into the right side, please.
Memento Mori.
Watch your step. You open the gate. Watch your head, please.
This is a good place for underground cafe.
For a what?
Cafe.
For
Cafe. Yeah.
2 steps. Please watch your steps. More bones there. Just like a ritual. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Watch your head, please.
But why would someone pay for that, although he knows that he cannot visit that place, and
Oh,
what
because,
was about prestige? I don't
Yes,
know.
I forgot to tell you. I'm gonna tell you. Everybody wanted to be buried here because the Catholic Church told this to the people. The best way for going to heaven is to be buried under the church.
Really?
So
Wow.
the
What a
idea
story.
of cemetery that we have now didn't exist back on the time.
Okay.
People used to say, if I die, 100% I want to be buried underground because I want to go to the heaven. So that's
What
why,
is advertising? You see?
yes, business, business.
Yeah, business.
And here also you can find many offerings. Aquí pueden encontrar ofrendas como caramelos, hasta hay cartas. Even there's kind of like a letter, because if you do like this, there's the church again.
Ah,
Ahí
really?
está la iglesia.
So we can see. Oh yeah, they're very close to God.
Yes. So we're gonna walk some more meters and then we're gonna go to the top again. Right? Let's go here, please. So this is the Peruvian Last Supper, of course. And what is so cool is that in the middle there's a guinea pig.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you.
Yes. A very roasted guinea pig, I would say.
Yeah, very roasted. You can see that.
No,
I
no.
see ice.
See, not only that, but on the top of the table you can see a yellow chili. On the bottom you can see a
Exactly, I
red pepper. Yes, and a green chili.
Yeah.
This is the head on the right. Yeah.
Some potatoes, some sweet
Yes, some
potatoes,
potatoes.
limes. So the idea was to teach religion. So that's why you put, let's say, Inca elements inside. And also, since you are teaching a new religion, to make it more acceptable for us,
Of course.
you put something that we already know.
Sure.
Now, what is so cool about this is that also the different faces of the 12 disciples of Jesus. So can you guess which one of the 12 sitting around Jesus is Judas the betrayer?
Maybe that what looks like devil.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, you see devil is standing behind him and he's whispering something. Yeah, maybe that one.
Smirk on his face.
Like it's obviously that he's saying go.
And he's pointing himself. Can you see?
Yeah, he is pointing himself. Yeah. Yeah.
So he's Judas the betrayer. Sometimes I remember once I came here with a very young German couple from 18-year-old, and they didn't know nothing about this story. So I could show this story through the painting. So the same thing, the Spaniards used to do back on the century.
Sí.
But also you can see some kids that represent the innocence of life. And you can even see on the bottom a doggy.
Dog, yeah, that's what I first saw.
That represents the loyalty.
Loyalty,
Yes. And you can see the year that this painting was made in the right on the bottom, 1696.
Wow, yeah.